When we went there, they placed these pellets, whatever they are, in our palm. We were like, oh my god, these are radioactive. Oh, Kojima. And the radiation was actually really weak. Like, it couldn't penetrate a piece of paper. Yeah, so to prepare for Metal Gear Solid 2, I got irradiated.
Snake! What happened? Snake! Snake!
Okay, you found me. I'll tell you what you want to know. Submerged for months, away from the prying eyes of the press and public to finish Metal Gear Solid 2, creator Hideo Kojima finally comes up for air. By Mark McDonald. It's quiet. Too quiet. No, it's not too quiet. It'll get too quiet. I have a MGS2 playlist somewhere. Not of music from the game, music that reminds me of the game. It's mostly David Bowie, but David Bowie and Yes. The firestorm of hype for Metal Gear Solid 2, fueled by 2 movie-style trailers and a playable demo, may have been deafening just a few moments ago, when message boards and magazines were busy dissecting every word, squeak, and cough of Kojima's mouth. But then, poof, suddenly Kojima-san vanished. It was all part of his plan to submerge. In part to build excitement, in part just so he can actually finish the game. Into a press blackout so secretive it would make George Lucas jealous. That is, until now, EGM has scored the only interview in the world with Kojima since he dropped off the radar this past May. Here's the latest on what he had to say about his game. His crunch mode schedule, his goofball humor. Aw, that's silly Kojima. That goofball. That silly little guy, Kojima. And more, along with a few previously unpublished snippets from our conversation at the last Electronic Entertainment Expo. I'm not feeling this music. I'm gonna, there is somewhere... Yeah, let's do this one. Think of it as a primer to get you ready for Metal Gear Solid 2, the game many of you bought a PlayStation 2 for before it hits November 13th. Turn the page to break the silence. Kojima comes clean. Oh, that's... I have a Twitch clip where I'm looking at this part of the game. And it always kind of takes me off guard. This is a terrible color scheme for this. It's too many light things contrasting with each other. Yeah, this is the thing that I have as a Twitch clip. And I always like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's me playing Metal Gear Solid from like 2018, maybe? I don't know. I tell my staff, you've got to do that poster thing, so when you hit the breast, you hear boing. This is my favorite Kojima quote. I tell my staff, you gotta do that poster thing, so when you hit the breast, you hear boing. I go back to them in a week and I ask, well, why isn't it here? And they say, what, you weren't joking? When Kojima tells you he wants the boob to boing, you give him the boing. How do you think the playable demo of MGS2 was received? Better than expected. If people trashed that demo, we'd have to redo the whole thing. People basically liked the direction we're headed in with MGS2, so we didn't have to redo that portion, allowing us to move forward and finish the game. Was there any feedback from the demo that's been incorporated into the game? We can't really speak of any specific things, but yes, we are making a lot of little adjustments. For instance, when you're in first-person view mode, normally you'd look up by pressing up, but now we've inverted it, like how Airplane would control. We're still experimenting with some stuff. For instance, maybe you'll be able to push down on the DualShock stick to button to look around faster. We don't know right now. Something you can't do in the demo, but you can do in the final game is move the camera during the cutscenes. You can do this because it's all in real time. You don't just have to watch it. You can move the camera around. If you had to, you can zoom up to Olga's armpits. Smiles. Kojima, you scamp. Demo for this only the snake part, so then the rest of the game was riding, fans got upset. Fans can... You know what? We've been over... I've been over this rant like 1,000 times. I can't let myself get into it. But it is really cool knowing that the demo didn't have the ability to move the camera around, because I do find that really a charming part of the final product. How much of that demo is how the actual game will play out in terms of the intro sequence in the first 15 minutes of the game? We've made some changes, but it's not going to be drastic. So we'll meet Olga and kill her in the very beginning of the finished game? Yes. Yes? But since it's a demo, we also threw in a few items you wouldn't normally obtain at that point. We've gone on record saying MGS2 won't include VR missions. Are there any extra features? Minigames? Internet ranking mode, making a video, the trailer's practice mode of some kind, multiple endings that will be included in the final game. As for visual bonuses, trailers, etc., I would love to include them if there is any room left. As of now, there isn't that much room, since there's also so much dialogue in MGS2, even a DVD will be filled up easily. Whose idea was it to alert the guards when you touch the girly posters in the locker room? Mine. Smiles and make knocking gesture and boing sound. I love... You guys remember when Hideo Kojima smiled, made a knocking gesture and a boing sound in an interview? Whenever you see something jokey or silly in a game, it's always my idea. Me, I'm the funny one. I'm the funny one here, guys. I always include all these little details in the game plan, and my staff, when they read this, they say, this isn't gonna happen. I tell my staff, you've got to do that poster thing, so when you hit the breast, you hear boing. Man's gotta have him boings. It seems parts of the demo and the two trailers are intended to get people speculating about the plot. We're just providing you with hints. It'll be fun when you pick up the game and play it and say to yourself, I knew it, or the other way around where you say, oh my god, I never expected this. That's how you're going to enjoy it, that's why you're given all these hints. Will the game wrap up all of the unanswered questions, or are you saving some mysteries for another sequel? MGS2 is going to end the MGS1 MGS2 saga. Does it? Many questions will be answered, but I believe it would be a disservice to the consumer if I started revealing all my secrets now. There will always be more mysteries. Are there any more hints or clues you can give about to our readers about any parts of the story in MGS2? All of you should play MGS1 again for a refresher. Now that the demo and second trailer have been out for a few months, what do you think of all the speculation about the plot by the gaming community? I created the E3 trailer to give everyone an opportunity to imagine what the final game would be like. All rumors could be correct, all could be wrong. One thing is for sure, I think I'll be able to fool and betray all of you in a pleasant way. Oh, how nice. What do you think it is about MGS2 that has everyone so excited? I really have no answer for that. I also don't know why it's being received so well. If I did have an answer, it would make it so much easier to develop a game. Take the second trailer. I had no idea whether or not it would be received well, so I was worried. People got so salty. We will not think about that today. We will forget how people felt. I don't want to think about them again. I get salty thinking about them being salty. Oh, I wonder, what was that girl's name? Stephanie. Stacy. I hope Stacy from the beginning where she got her dad to get her a PS2. I hope Stacy liked Metal Gear Solid 2. That's all I care about, Stacy's opinion. Can you talk a bit about the research that went into Metal Gear Solid 2? We visited an actual tanker. As in the original Metal Gear Solid, Snake can equip a camera to capture and save pictures in MGS2. Been to a bunch of museums for information, and we visited a nuclear fuel plant. When we went there, they placed these pellets, whatever they are, in our palm. We were like, oh my god, these are radioactive. Oh, Kojima. And the radiation was actually really weak. Like, it couldn't penetrate a piece of paper. Yeah, so to prepare for Metal Gear Solid 2, I got irradiated. Myself and the artist Yoji Shinkawa held these in our hands, but the rest of the guys ran away. They refused. We were like, if you can't do this, then you can't be on the team. Yeah, I was talking earlier about how they were like, you have to be really passionate and dedicated and give your soul up to work as a game developer. and Hideo Kojima's over here being like, get irradiated or else you will not work on this video game. How has your military advisor been helping on development? Our military advisor is Mr. Morosada Mori. Mr. Mori has been our advisor since MGS1. He's been a part of various special force units around the world. He now writes novels and serves as a military action advisor for Japanese TV dramas and movies. Oh. Hey Andre, welcome back. He taught us we're reading a Hideo Kojima interview right now. He taught us how to hold weapons, how certain weapons work, and how soldiers sweep an area. He came to our office months ago to show how to walk around in an area when there are terrorists in the building. We first start out in a room where he uses the blackboard to give us a case. He says, "Here are the terrorists. Show me the correct way to approach that room." It's continued on page 124. What page are we on right now? I wanna read the art part before we continue. You tried designing a cool character with only a goofy name like Psycho Mantis or Marionette Owl to work with, but Yoji hasn't just succeeded at challenges like this, he's thrived. Not even 30 years old. Oh no, make me feel bad. His rough, almost impressionist shaded style has come to symbolize Metal Gear Solid to the world. Make me feel bad for not being Yoji Shinkawa. How much freedom do you have with character and mechanical designs? I get directions regarding the character's age, ethnic origin, and the weapon used. As for the machines, I have total control. Ooh, what are Yoji Shinkawa's influences, art, music, movies, and anime when it comes to artwork and designs? The artists that influence me are Aubrey Beardsley. Don't know who that is. I won't know any of these people. Yoshitoshi Tukioka and Final Fantasy artist responsible for our limited edition cover last month, Yoshitaka Amano. It's hard to say which movie is my favorite. Train spotting is quite exhilarating. I don't know if you liked train spotting. When was this from? This is 2001. Nemuri Kiyoshiro with actor Raizo Ichikawa is my favorite Japanese film. As for games, maybe I've got a movie to watch tonight. As for games, Nintendo's early 80s LCD screen-equipped portable Game & Watches were great. They were simple with very clever gameplay. The designs of the Game & Watch units themselves were so cool that I enjoy simply owning them. People being really excited for Game & Watch, it's cute, but I don't know. The limited edition ones are really fancy, though. I wish the Game Boy had a cooler design. Ooh. Shade. Can you describe the process you went through in creating our cover image? First, I do a few rough sketches. I knew I wanted to show Manhattan. Trying to come up with a design combining Snake and Manhattan was not easy. I ended up drawing Manhattan, the moon, and Snake separately and did a collage. I wanted the colors to be of a light touch, so I used Photoshop to apply the colors, and then scanned a brush pen drawn Snake as a texture and applied it onto the illustration to give it that sense of volume. I listened to Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery to massage my brain while doing the illustration. What nationality do you imagine Solid Snake as? I consider him being Japanese British. British? I mean, I guess, like, of descent. Okay. Maybe I don't think much about it. Who's your favorite character or thing to draw from MGS2? I love, spoilers, Railgun Sporting Boss from the second trailer, Fortune. I try to make her refreshing and sexy at the same time. I would love to be refreshing and sexy. Instead, I'm wearing an oversized Mario hat. And I'm reading 2000s area video game magazines. And I haven't showered today. So, you know, maybe not refreshing and sexy today. We have to ask, Snake's haircut in America is called a mullet. Short in the front and long in the back, and it's a look popular among pro wrestlers, hockey players, and country music singers. Why was this distinct hairstyle chosen for Snake in MGS2? I gave him long hair along with a scruffy beard to give Snake a wild touch. That wild man. I love that wild man. Yo, a horse racing game. This is a great ad for a horse racing game. This is following up from the terrorist simulation that Hideo Kojima underwent. Page design is interesting. It's a very, like, light, refreshing kind of thing going on. There's a lot of... I'm kind of surprised about the color tones they used. Refreshing and sexy. I didn't want to say refreshing again because I had just said it. Then we leave our room, walk around in the halls of the office, and try to approach the room where the terrorists are burping currently. After our performance, we go back into the room with the blackboard, and Mr. Mori shows us on the board the correct route in which we should have approached the terrorists. These precious hours of questions and answers give us the knowledge to create AI for the soldiers to sweep the area and come after Snake. I'd love to see, like, video of that. Metal Gear the movie. We know you're a movie lover. Would you like to direct a movie? Not Metal Gear, but a non-Hollywood independent film. What about a Metal Gear movie with someone else at the helm? I would have no problem with Hollywood doing a Metal Gear movie in the Hollywood way, but to me, Metal Gear is a game. To me, I create Metal Gear as a game, and not in any other media. For me to do a Metal Gear movie, I'd be a hypocrite since I feel the best medium for Metal Gear is a game. Are you beating over the head with a stick? Metal Gear is a game. Who would you like to see direct such a Metal Gear movie? The Wachowski brothers. The Wachowski sisters. That would be pretty fun if that ever happened. I mean, like, if that had happened in the past. Any game dev streamers? I really want to know how NPC AI is made. I can't recommend anyone specific, but there are some good YouTube videos to look up. I'm mostly thinking of the NPC and character AI for Dark Souls games, which there's a lot of in-depth description about how their character IDs and like pathing works. I find that really interesting. But yeah, just browse around YouTube. There's always like fun little videos about it, especially how differently they work for different games. PS2 versus Xbox versus GameCube. What do you think of the upcoming hardware wars? Hideo Kojima says there definitely shouldn't be a monopoly, even when it comes to genetics in nature. Metal Gear. Alright, we're talking about GameCubes. You always need competition. It's what makes things better. Konami is a software publisher. We really don't care who wins. We just care about our own software. The reason why MGS2 is for PS2 is very simple. MGS1 was for... No, stop continuing. I wanna read about David Hayter too. They got David Hayter as well. They got everyone to do a interview for this. David Hayter's more than just a pretty voice. Since providing Solid Snake's raspy growl as part of the universally acclaimed Metal Gear Solid voice cast, he's become a Hollywood screenwriter penning the script for the last summer's blockbuster X-Men. Wait, what? David Hayter wrote the script for X-Men? Do I know anything? Like, sometimes I just feel like these things hit me out of nowhere. Despite his current X-Men 2 writing duties and a slight hangover, do I know anything about this man? He was a screenwriter for a while. I genuinely didn't know anything about him beyond his voice acting work. That's really cool. We found Mr. Hader in great spirits when we talked to him about his return for the studio for MGS2. As he says, it's good to be Dave. It's good to be Dave. You're a big Hollywood scriptwriter now. What brought you back for MGS2? I just love this game. I think it's really cool. And with all the same people, the same actors, and the same director and everything, I just wanted to do it again. How did the recording process go? It was awesome. While we were doing it, I got very nostalgic and played the first Metal Gear Solid again. Oh, it's so cute. And just as a great game as that was, MGS2 is 100 times better. Just the script and the actors. Last time we were sort of feeling our way through, but this time we knew what we were doing before we started it. And it was cool too. I think we had a little more fun with it as well. Like with the relationships between Snake and Otacon, there's some really funny stuff, as well as just straight action. I love that he loved it so much. Is it hard to do that deep Snake voice? Yeah, when I start off, I'm just sort of faking my way through it, and then by the middle of the day, it switches into Snake's voice. It all comes together. And then by the end of the day, I'm just in horrible, horrible pain. Do you do anything to protect your throat? Gargle honey or salt water or something? No, actually, to get that voice, you want to be drinking and smoking as much as possible. Alright. What do you think of Snake's flowing mullet? I was trying not to admit to myself that it was a mullet. Salt water. I've never had anyone recommend gargling salt water. I think maybe by now people recognize that it probably irritates your throat more than anything. As a script writer yourself, what do you think of the MGS2 script? I think it's so far beyond what we had in the first one. I thought the first one was great, but it was still, the language was very sort of Japanese based, whereas this one is full on smooth. Plus I had more confidence as a writer and as an actor, so we played with it a little bit and really made the conversations feel as real as possible. There's a lot of great stuff in it. I love that he loves it so much. I love Metal Gear. Sexy and refreshing. On page 126, we're gonna see Hideo Kojima talk more about the PS2 versus Xbox versus GameCube. I love that this is so long, and I do genuinely just find all of their interviews in this section very interesting. Weird color scheme, again, I don't know, it's very, like, bright. It was very successful. Metal Gear fans and PlayStation fans get along very well. It's a perfect match. It's not because we think PS2 is a better machine. When I pick hardware to do a game on, I don't look at the specs of the machine. I don't really care about that stuff. I look at the audience it has. Releasing a Metal Gear game on a Nintendo console would be ridiculous. I don't know about GameCube. Yeah, who would put Metal Gear Solid 2 on the GameCube? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Absolutely, just never do it. Just don't. I don't know about GameCube, but there are machines that exist right now. N64, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance are for younger kids. I don't care about how good the system itself is, because all consoles right now are at about the same level of power. Speaking of the GameCube, what do you think of Nintendo's next machine? I'm not too satisfied with Smash Bros. 2 or Wave Race 2. They're basically N64 games, but Pikmin looked different. It looked unique, so I'd like to try it out. I do like that they ask him about, like, the capabilities of the GameCube, and he's just like, I don't care, Pikmin looks cool. Like, yo, Pikmin, that seems pretty interesting. Absolutely no, like, sense of, like, power scalability of different consoles, and I do kind of like that. Why did you choose to submerge after E3? There are several reasons for being submerged. One is certainly so that I can devote the remaining time to creating the game. The other would be to let speculation about the game expand. Think of it as the anticipation of Christmas. You can see the presents under the tree, see the size and number, but you never know what is really in there. That's what we want to do, build the anticipation without giving away too much. We heard one reason Might be because you were working yourself ragged. Has development been tough? How do you handle it with your wife and son? Will you be able to take vacation soon? Honestly speaking, I am very tired. Me too. I do get sick occasionally, but I am working very hard with my team to complete my game. I try to spend as much time with my son as possible. It's not easy. I sometimes bring my son to my office on the weekends so that I can work and spend... Stop putting ads in front of my... Spend time with him. I'll make up for all of it after this project is completed. As Vice President of Konami Japan, I cannot take a long vacation until after the game is done. From the trailers, the game looks like it's done. What's left to do in the last couple of months? My battle still continues. Showing the game as footage and finishing it up as a playable game are very different tasks. Putting together completed building blocks, making modifications, putting them together again, it's a long cycle. What do you plan on doing once MGS2 for the PS2 is complete? The theme will be parent and child, and I would like to work with GameCube. There was an announcement recently that MGS2 would come to the US first before Japan. That's incredibly rare for such a huge title. Why was that decision made? Metal Gear Solid was very well received in the US, even better than Japan, so we wanted to reward that dedication by bringing the game out in the US first, since we couldn't work it out in our schedule to do a simultaneous launch. I have to say that Japanese fans are not too happy about this, but we're glad that the American fans are happy. Laser grid trip that no sane person would use as a security system. It's just so iconic. Snake briefly considers saying to hell with the whole thing, going home and popping in the Die Hard DVD again, and taking a nice long warm bath. That sounds perfect. Snake. Let's do that. Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus Snake, White Snake. That's great. Alright, I think that's all the Kojimbo that they gave us in this one. Oh, never mind. Look at his hair back then. Ooh, police knots. Look at these photos up here. God, this is so messy. Still drinking, like, canned coffee. And these weird vitamin drinks. You know, other than his hair and his eyebrows. That is true. I don't want to see what my hair looked like. We've heard that Kojima and the MGS2 team was submerging and didn't want to be disturbed, and the development of MGS2 is very secret. We figured that was just a bunch of PR hoopla. I'm not gonna read these, I'm just gonna look at the photos. Although they do give little points on the photos. Kojima has not grown a beard, not had his right hand chopped off, not sprouted a third eye, and is very clearly not dead. Oh. A picture of Kojima with the Matrix creators, the Wachowski brothers. Kojima and the brothers are mutual fans, and he told us if anyone is going to make a Hollywood Metal Gear movie, he'd like it to be these guys. And if only that had happened. Oh, there's a little Godzilla on his desk. Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color, Police Knots PS1, and other past Kojima games. Very lovely photos. Oh god. Cubicles. Oh look, it's Pikachu. Hey, it's Pikachu! And Togepi and Meowth and other Pokemon that I cannot identify at this distance. Graphics supervisor Yoji Shinkawa at work. He's got a rough version of the cover. Oh, his Game Launch is up there. A Tweety Bird mouse pad and figurine. When we asked Yoji about all the Tweety Bird items, he told us, I cannot stand being alone. That's why I make sure Tweety keeps me company. Aww. Alrighty then. No, don't make fun of him for his Tweety birds. That's so cute. That's so adorable. Oh, there's just a gun on the ground. It's just like a fake gun. Shinkawa told us the whole development process is so much tougher in every respect. There are more people now and the air conditioner doesn't help much because of the heat from all of us. Okay, whoever wrote this editorial piece hated Pokemon. Pokemon is no place sacred from these godless monsters. Maybe some of the staff read how Kojima and his son like the games and are sucking up to the boss man. No, people just fucking like Pokemon. Bro, what is your problem? Watching Shinkawa work is truly amazing. It reminded me of that one guy on PBS with the giant afro. He starts with nothing but, oh, I think Shinkawa heard the camera. Oh crap, he's looking right at me. He's looking right at me, isn't he? Nobody here, just a bunch of us fresh oranges. Wait, where did I get that huge sword? Christ. Mayday. Oh, this is dorky. This is a great photo of Kojima. I don't care what anyone says. Alright, I think we are out of the Kojima feature. Oh, old ass phones! That was very refreshing and beautiful. The other wireless white meat. Alright, well, I think that's gonna do it for me today. I'm gonna leave you guys here with the Thrust Master. And I'm gonna see if anybody else is on Twitch right now. I do think I'm gonna get back to Super Mario. I need to take a break tomorrow. I have a lot of things that I need to do. Dane Cook streams? Oh my god. What the